Playing sports at the college level, something many student athletes dream of, but for some, that dream has been dashed.
I was told basically that I needed to find somewhere else to play because I was mentally unfit. That was the words. I was mentally unfit.
Some student athletes tell us their mental health suffered playing the sport they once loved. They are only speaking with News 4 tonight. Ever since he was a little boy, Noah Jacobsen has loved baseball.
Go, go, go!
I told somebody if I ever got hurt, they'd have to carry me off the field because I wasn't doing it on my own.
He got really good at it, playing for his home team in Potosi, even being honored as an Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame Rising Star. So when he signed on with a scholarship at Southeast Missouri State University, it was his dream.
I wanted to take it to the next level and play as long as I could, honestly.
But it all quickly soured his freshman and sophomore year.
It's abuse is what it is.
In a program, he says, that harmed his mental health.
I knew it was going to be like a full-time job, which was not a problem, and I knew it was going to be tougher, but at the same time, at some point, enough's enough.
Plagued with injuries and illness, Noah says the coaching staff turned on him.
He would call you a pussy if you weren't playing, or if you were hurt, he would call you don't be a bitch. He'd say that all the time.
He remembers telling his head coach that he'd be cleared to play after an injury in 1 week.
That was on a Monday, and he looks at me about from me to my hand, and he goes, well, then don't effing talk to me till Sunday.
Noah says he didn't expect to be coddled, but the berating was constant.
What would you say to somebody who says this is just how it is?
I get some people may say it's not for college sports ain't for everybody. Well, no, it ain't, but also talking like that to people is not right. You don't cuss at people and cuss at people and cuss at people to get your point across.
The culture on the team, he says, made him start to sink deeper into depression, severely affecting his game.
I couldn't even think straight knowing that if I did something wrong, I was going to be cussed at, or I messed up a bunt play and ran 2 miles around the field.
So I was having a lot of panic attacks in the morning, anxiety attacks.
A sadly similar story from Noah's SEMO teammate, BRADEN SPAWR, who says the push to perform pushed him over the edge.
You know, I was just tired of all of it, and so I went outside and just thought I was going to take my life. And just one moment, please. Thank you. I brought a gun outside with me.
At some point, you just get sick and tired of it, and you can't take it anymore.
Noah says he didn't know where to turn. SEMO, he says, failed to provide resources.
Well, if you're on scholarship, you're basically their property.
And when he tried speaking out to athletic staff, he says word got back to head coach Andy Sawyers.
I was told I was mentally unfit to play at SEMO.
Both he and BRADEN eventually just quit the team altogether. Though still enrolled, he still struggles being at SEMO.
It can escalate extremely quickly, and I've seen that firsthand.
Riley NICKOLS is a sports psychologist in Webster Groves who says Noah and BRADEN are far from alone.
Dispositionally, a lot of athletes that I work with are very high-functioning, quite driven, motivated, committed individuals. Perfectionism is usually off the charts.
But with that, he says, come specific mental health challenges, especially in a world where stats are broadcast online, subject to ridicule, and athletes' very identity often wrapped up in their sport. Big-name athletes like Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, and Michael Phelps have opened up about their struggles, helping to partly destigmatize mental health issues in sports. But NICKOLS says progress for providing resources has been slow, especially for programs not flush with funding.
Unfortunately, in my experiences, the mental health support is sometimes woefully inadequate.
Certain environments, he says, can become toxic, especially when there is pressure to perform and win big.
I think the culture within a sport or a team is really important, and I think that starts kind of from top down.
SEMO has seen great success in sport, winning 11 championships across athletics in just the last few years.
If anyone were to allege that the cost of winning is at the expense of students' well-being, you would deny that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So we sat down with SEMO Director of Athletics, Brady BARKE, who says it's heartbreaking to hear Noah and Braden's experiences.
When you hear those types of things, you wonder where could we have been more helpful?
He declined to talk about their specific allegations or about specific athletic programs, but says in general, physical or verbal abuse directed at students is unacceptable and something they'd take very seriously.
I'm confident that none of our coaches, based upon reports that we've had and that we have been able to, determine, are subjecting our students to those types of abuses.
If they receive allegations, he says, they will investigate.
If, we see that there's, merit to those types of things, then of course, the student athlete's well-being is always going to be my top priority.
When it comes to mental health resources, though, he acknowledges they rely on campus-wide counseling services. Athletics has no dedicated on-site staff, something they have discussed changing.
I feel like we have a pretty good system in place, but I think there's always opportunities for us to be able to enhance the resources we provide.
But Braden, Noah, and his family still say the school didn't do enough, even, they say, after exchanging emails with school officials. They want something to change immediately.
Where's that stuff in place at that they said that they had in place and that they had a committee to help kids like us? Where's that at?
Sharing their experiences now, they say, to hopefully help someone else.
I don't want this to happen to another kid and it be a worse result, like them ending their life over something like this, which could very easily happen.
Now, Noah and Braden both tell me they really did not want to bash anyone or cause any harm. They just wanted to let other people know that it's okay to not be okay. We recently heard from parents of other players who support the coach, the program, and SEMO in general. They did not, though, want to go on camera. We reached out to Coach Sawyers, who sent us a written statement, which reads in part, quote, "While I don't believe in the media is the appropriate place to speak about issues involving current or former members of our program, I'm proud of the support my staff and I have provided those who have dealt with mental health issues during their time here. The parents of these young men entrust us with their children, and we do everything in our power to help them grow and develop as players and people." Now, News 4 also reached out to other colleges in our area for what services they are offering student athletes. We've got more information about that and resources to get help if you or someone you know is struggling. That's right now on the KMOV News app.